everyone, welcome back to our channel Parenting. My name is Ashley and this is my amazing, beautiful, talented, wonderful, as you all know, mother.
Hi everyone, this is Dr. Sharmila.
And in today's video, we have a story time for you. And this is not a very glorious story time. I feel like none of our story times are very glorious.
Our stories are just human
Real,
stories.
yeah.
Yes.
So in today's video, we are going to be talking about the time that we failed maths. So when she was young and me when I was younger.
Younger. Okay.
Yes. So do you want to get started with your story?
Yes. So math seems to be one of those not to be spoken words or the word. Most of the parents and students that I've met have all found math is a challenge. I mean, it was a challenge for me when I was growing up, and I barely scraped through maths. But there was this time when I had, it was actually my 11th grade exam. Okay,
Yes.
Exam had just gotten over, and we were going for our swimming classes. My brother, me, and my close friend, we were all going for swimming class, and that was the day of the result.
Okay.
So what happened was 11th standard was very interesting for me. I was the cultural captain, and then we had sports day, and there was so many things that was happening. In fact, that was the time Nehru Stadium opened, so my school participated in that, and I was part of the marching team and all of that. So
interesting
year that academics took a beating. Okay, so I was an average student, didn't really do very well.
I've seen her reports. She was a pretty good student.
I was an average student. Okay,
Pretty
in
good
school.
student.
Okay, in school I was an average student.
Yeah.
So I always managed to pass and scrape through, but that year in especially 11th grade, because there was so much activity going on that I hardly got time to study, or I didn't take that too seriously. So what happened was 11th grade had finished. I had gone, we were having our swimming classes and all of that, and that particular day was the result. So I had to finish the swimming class in the morning and go to collect my result.
Ooh.
So I never expected. I thought, as always, that I just barely pass through and I'll get over. But that year, I had not cleared my math exam. That was bad, and I just couldn't. One, I couldn't believe it. Second was my future was completely at stake, because that was a physics, chemistry, biology and math stream that I had taken.
Yes.
And without math, I couldn't go to my 12th. So it was all my friends had passed and I alone had failed. So it was very, very embarrassing for me. And second, I didn't know how I was going to handle it when I came back home. And I found it very difficult to share it with my mom. She just took it lightly. She said, okay, let's see what can be done.
Yes.
But my father sort of reacted a little sternly. I started thinking that I'm just not capable of doing math. And so what happened there was, then I had to shift my stream and go from being math and science student to a pure science student. So actually what it did to me was that I internalized that I was bad in math and I could never do math. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's hear what happened to you. Then I'll tell you what happened after that.
Okay.
Okay, what happened to you?
So, as a very tiny kid, yeah, till I was in like 5th grade, math used to be one of my favorite subjects. And I did really well in maths. I think maths and English were two subjects that I always did well in. And then I went to middle school, I think. So 6th standard, my academics kind of went for a toss. And I was just going through things. And that was, I think, the year where you learn about more complex concepts and like LCM, HCF, stuff like that. I still remember. It's actually very nice. But I didn't at that time. So yeah, basically, the 6th grade was supposed to be just learning the basics of some of the higher concepts, and I didn't really I didn't concentrate. I think I just barely scraped by that year, but I did pass math. But fast forward to, I think, 3 years after that. So I was in ninth standard then. So just that period from 6th standard to ninth standard, I had just in my mind decided that maths just wasn't the subject for me. Like they say that if you're like a English, if you're really good at English, then you are not really great at math. So that was something that I had fixated in my mind, and I was like, you know what, I'm good at English, that means I can't do maths. And yeah, I mean,
Wow.
yeah, that's what I thought. And also this whole thing of like, our family were not like, I mean, except for my grandmother, the rest of us, we kind of have, we don't really have like the greatest relationship with math.
Oh, that's what we keep telling you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
And yeah,
that seemed to be more the conditioning
Yes.
of the family, that
Yeah.
we all decided, since we are all doctors, that math was just never going to be our favorite
Yeah.
subject. Okay.
and yeah, that's something that I kept hearing, and I think I just convinced myself that math is just not for you. So I stopped taking the initiative to actually try and learn. So I just learn enough, and I just complain about maths the whole time. And yeah, when I was in ninth grade, I had a pretty good year, but even though I passed all my other classes with good marks, math I did fail. I think I got like a 43% or something like that. And somewhere, I mean, I kind of knew that it was going to happen, but I still felt bad about it. And but I knew that I hadn't done my best. But yeah, the teachers in this school were actually very, very supportive, and they helped me through it. But then, so my mom was actually the one who collected my results. And what happened at that time, and something that I want to bring to your attention here, is that so she sent me a picture of the report card. I think I was in Delhi or something. And instead of looking at all the good grades that I had gotten, my first instinct was to look at the fail mark. And my mom, she gracefully pointed that out, and she said that you've done well in other subjects, and now you know that math is a subject that you need to work on. And
So that was something like a history repeating for me.
Yeah.
So what I saw there was, here Ashley was again going through the same challenge that I went through with math.
Yes.
But this time around, I just didn't want her to feel that that was something that she could never overcome.
Yes.
So that's why I had actually pointed out to her that she'd done really well in all the other subjects, which means this area was an area of development. So which, if you really started working on it, then you could overcome the challenge of math, which is what
Yeah.
I did when I was doing my MBA in healthcare in the US. There we had subjects only based off math, accounts and finance in in hospitals and all of that, and
Yeah.
that was something I
She had to do a lot of maths.
lot of math.
Yeah.
And I actually stood first in the university. I was the outstanding student, and that's when I realized that I had not worked enough on math. And it was not that math was difficult, it was just that my mind block was there, that I did not want to I just, instead of facing the problem, I actually ran away from the
Yeah.
problem. So how did you overcome that math challenge? What did
Yeah,
you do?
so then, like, whenever we're faced with a challenge, what me and my mom do is we just sit and we talk about the problem and we see how to tackle it. So that's what we did. Yeah, and that was the first step. That was just changing my mindset and looking at what I can do instead of dwelling on the past and seeing what I hadn't done till now. And I realized that, I mean, when I started, I was good at it because I worked towards it, and my mindset was that I love maths. So I started kind of consciously telling myself, oh, maths is so much fun. And then I spent extra time doing math.
Yes.
So I went to classes, and I really just put in my efforts to learning the subject and trying to fall in love with the subject. And
Wow, that is nice, right? Instead of being the enemy of math, you try
Yeah.
to become the friend with math. Wow.
yeah, and another thing that happened was that my mom, she made me do home finances at that time, and that was really cool because I realized that was math I actually really enjoyed doing, and that was the time where Parenteening was founded, so I had to manage finances for that. And honestly, I mean, I loved it. So at the end of the day, I did fall in love with maths, and I mean, a different kind of maths, but I still love maths. And I mean, I help you do maths sometimes.
Yes.
Till then, I always thought of maths like something that I was never going to use in life. Like, I always thought, where are you going to use Pythagoras theorem? But then she, I think, taught me that maths was definitely very integrated with our life, and that's something that I was able to recognize, and that made me like maths more. So fast forward a year,
Mhm.
I did pass maths.
Very
Yay!
nice, very nice. So actually, parents, there I do have a simple takeaway from the whole story was
Yes.
that when you look at a problem and you keep running away from a problem, then you're never going to be able to solve it. But when you're able to look at a problem and relate it to your life,
Yeah.
and associate it with something that is enjoyable,
Yes.
then the ability to handle the problem becomes a lot easier. And what I
Absolutely.
realized over the period was I was not actually bad in math. And when she started working on it, and the way she was able to overcome
Yeah.
her challenge made me realize that any problem, if you really take it and start working on it, and like you said, become friends with it or
Yeah.
fall in love with it,
Yeah.
then your ability to handle it becomes
Absolutely,
easier.
because I think no problem just goes away. Even if you think that it goes away like momentarily, it always seems to come back, and that was your case.
Hope you enjoyed it.
Yes.
Do share with us what your thoughts were on what your thoughts are on math and how you're going to be overcoming your challenge.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, awesome.
So thank you so much for watching.